Reflecting on George M. Marsden's The Outrageous Idea of Christian Scholarship is no small feat, no matter how much time you have. There is so much in this important short book, so many practical and useful ideas. For some perspective, I looked at Doing American History in a World of Subcultures, written by Marsden, published in 2009 in Reviews in History. In this article, Marsden explains that he took up history as a subject because he was fascinated by the past, but he chose it as his vocation because he had questions about why his worlds were shaped the way they were. Marsden's father was a pastor, then later an executive of the Orthodox Presbyterian Church. Marsden grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania that had several subcultures. He was acquainted with two of them, that of small town elites like his grandmother, whom his family lived with, and that of the small town, rural, working class culture of most of his friends. Marsden's motive to study American history was his desire to understand two other subcultures in which he found himself in his later teens, that of his religious heritage and that of mainstream academia. In The Outrageous Idea of Christian Scholarship, Marsden was trying to explain why writing or teaching from a Christian point of view is not really outrageous, so long as one presents that point of view without violating the other usual rules of academia regarding writing or teaching from a point of view. The main point of this book is to provide some positive guidelines as to what he has in mind when he urges that Christian perspectives and the perspectives of other religious groups be accepted as legitimate in the mainstream academy. Here are some major takeaways concerning Christian perspectives, Christian scholars, and Christian scholarship. Christian perspectives help determine the topics scholars study and the questions they ask about their topics. Christian scholars should be aiming at discovering and defending the truth as best they can, and they need not pretend that they think all points of view are equal. They should examine the subject from numerous perspectives, sympathetically, which sets a tone of fairness. An argument usually stimulates those who are against you to dig in deeper, so if you want to change things, it is more effective to do so by example. As to how Christian scholars should act, Marsden calls it some version of the Golden Rule. They should be models of what it means to love and respect those with whom one differs, even as they may debate their differences. His ideal for Christian scholarship is one that not only looks for the bearing of one's Christian convictions on one's academic thought, but also reflects some Christian attitudes that shape the tone of one's scholarship. Not only should Christian commitments lead one towards scholarly rigor and integrity, they should also encourage fairness and charity toward those with whom one differs. I especially liked how Marsden incorporated Christian worldview principles throughout the book. For example, and I quote, "Christian scholarship should be marked by a healthy sense of the limits of human knowledge. Christian scholars, while recognizing the value of scholarship, should also recognize its limitations. Therefore, Christian scholars should be critical of the absolutization of humanity. Even though Christians have long affirmed the significance and value of all humans, they have realized that humans have limits. The heart of human sinfulness is the illusion that we can be our own gods, creating and in control of our reality." To my classmates, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your discussions, and I wish God's blessing on your academic careers and wherever life takes you. And to Dr. Schultz, thank you for your encouragement, your concern, and your prayers for us. It's been a privilege to be in your class, Historical Professions. Thank you.